Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something very close to my heart. It is something that combines two things that seem, at first, like opposites. On one side, we have the rising cost of food. On the other side, we have the desire to live a long, healthy, energetic life. Many people think you cannot have both. They think that eating for longevity, eating the way we do in Okinawa or in the traditional Japanese countryside, must be expensive. They think organic, fresh, healthy fish and vegetables are only for rich people. But I am here today, as your Japanese friend, to tell you that this is a misunderstanding. In fact, the traditional Japanese diet was born from poverty. It was born from necessity. And because of that, it is one of the most naturally frugal and longevity-boosting diets on planet Earth. So today I will share with you 10 Japanese ways to save money on groceries while actually making your body younger, stronger, and healthier. And please remember, this is a 20-minute speech. So make yourself a cup of tea, green tea of course, and listen with an open mind. Let us begin with number 1, and this is the foundation of everything. It is a concept called mottainai. Mottainai is a word that does not have a perfect English translation. It means something like, what a waste, or don't be wasteful, but it is deeper than that. It is a spiritual feeling of regret when something's potential is not fully used. In the West, many people buy a carrot, they peel it, they cut off the top, they cut off the bottom, they throw away the peels, and then they cook the middle. That is mottainai. In a Japanese kitchen, we use the whole vegetable. The carrot peel? We wash it well and we put it in a bag in the freezer. When the bag is full, we boil those peels with a piece of kombu seaweed to make a free, delicious, nutrient-packed broth. The green tops of carrots or radishes? We chop them finely and make furikake, a rice seasoning. We stir-fry them with a little soy sauce and sesame seeds. That is not waste. That is food. So the first way to save money is to change your definition of what is edible. Stop throwing away money. The peels, the stems, the leaves, the seeds, the bones from your chicken or fish head from your butcher. In Japan, we boil fish heads and bones to make a broth so rich in collagen and minerals that it is like drinking youth. That broth becomes the base for your miso soup, for your noodle broth, for your hot pot. So rule 1, before you throw anything away, ask yourself, can this become soup? Can this become a pickle? Can this become a seasoning? The answer is almost always yes. That is mottainai, and mottainai saves you easily 30% on your grocery bill immediately. Now number 2. This is a secret that many young Japanese people forget, but the grandmothers know. It is called ichiju sansai. Ichiju sansai means 1 soup, 3 sides. This is the traditional structure of a Japanese meal. It is not a big plate of pasta or a huge burger and fries. It is a bowl of rice, a bowl of miso soup, and 3 small side dishes. Why does this save money? Because when you structure your meal this way, the star of the meal is the rice. Rice is very cheap. Rice fills your stomach, gives you steady energy, and is gluten-free. The miso soup is mostly water, but water is free, and the miso paste is a fermented soybean paste that lasts for months in your fridge and costs very little per serving. You add a few thin slices of daikon radish, a little wakame seaweed, some tofu. Very cheap. And the 3 sides? They are small. Maybe 2 tablespoons of pickled vegetables. Maybe a small piece of grilled fish the size of your palm, not a huge fillet. Maybe a small dish of boiled spinach with sesame sauce. When you eat ichiju sansai, you are not eating huge portions of expensive protein. You are eating a balanced, nutrient-dense, fiber-rich meal that costs a fraction of a Western-style meal. And the longevity benefit? This way of eating naturally controls your calories, naturally gives you over 30 different food ingredients per day, and naturally lowers inflammation. So stop building your meal around a big piece of meat. Build your meal around a bowl of rice and a bowl of soup. Your wallet will thank you, your arteries will thank you, and you will feel light, not heavy, after eating. Number 3. Learn the power of nukazuke. Nukazuke are vegetables pickled in rice bran. Rice bran is a byproduct of polishing rice. In the West, it is often thrown away or fed to animals. In Japan, we ferment vegetables in it. Here is why this saves you money. Vegetables at the supermarket have a short life. You buy broccoli, and 3 days later it is sad and limp. You throw it away. That is money lost. But if you make a nukadoko, a rice bran bed, you can take those slightly sad vegetables, put them in the bed for 12 hours, and they come out as delicious, crunchy, Probiotic-rich pickles. The fermentation process preserves them. A vegetable that was going to die becomes a vegetable that lives for weeks. Carrots, cucumbers, radishes, eggplant, cabbage, even the stems of broccoli. All of it can go into the nuka-doko. And the process of fermentation creates lactic acid bacteria, which is incredibly good for your gut health. A healthy gut is the #1 secret to longevity in Japan. So you save money because you never throw away vegetables again, and you boost your immune system with natural probiotics. The initial setup costs nothing. You buy rice bran, which is very cheap. You mix it with water, salt, and a piece of kombu, and you let it ferment. That is it. One of my students in Tokyo lives on a very tight budget, and she says her nuka-doko has saved her over $50 a month just by rescuing vegetables that were about to be thrown away. So please, look up how to make a simple nuka-doko. It is a fridge-free, energy-free way to preserve food and improve your health. Number 4. This is about protein. In the West, there is this idea that you need a huge chicken breast or a giant steak to get enough protein. In Japan, we look at protein differently. We eat small amounts of high-quality, low-cost proteins. The #1 cheap longevity protein in Japan is tofu. Tofu is soybean curd. It is incredibly cheap. In Tokyo, a block of firm tofu costs about $1. That block has about 30 grams of protein. That is enough for 2 meals. But here is the trick. Do not just eat cold tofu out of the box, although that is delicious with a little soy sauce and ginger. Use tofu to stretch more expensive ingredients. For example, if you want to make a ground meat dish, like a mapo tofu or a nikujaga-style dish, replace half of the ground meat with crumbled tofu. You will not taste the difference because tofu absorbs flavors. Your meal becomes lower in saturated fat, higher in plant compounds, and half the price. Another cheap protein is eggs. In Japan, we eat eggs almost every day. A simple omelet called tamagoyaki, slightly sweet, rolled up. That costs pennies. And we also eat small dried fish like chirimenjako or niboshi. These are tiny fish that are dried whole. They are very cheap because they are considered a bycatch, but they are incredibly rich in calcium and vitamin D. A spoonful on your rice gives you strong bones and costs almost nothing. So stop buying expensive protein powders and expensive cuts of meat. Embrace tofu, eggs, and small fish. Your body will get exactly what it needs, and your bank account will grow. Number 5. Seasonal eating, or shun. Shun means the moment when an ingredient is at its peak of flavor and nutrition. In the modern world, we can get tomatoes in winter and oranges in summer, but that convenience comes with a huge price tag. A tomato in winter has been shipped from a greenhouse or from a faraway country. It is expensive, and it does not taste good because it was picked early. In Japan, we eat what is growing now. In spring, we eat bamboo shoots, mountain vegetables, and fresh peas. In summer, we eat eggplant, cucumber, and bitter melon. In autumn, we eat sweet potato, mushroom, and chestnut. In winter, we eat daikon radish, cabbage, and root vegetables. Why does this save money? Because when a food is in season locally, it is abundant. Abundance means low prices. The farmers have a lot of it. The supermarkets want to sell it quickly. So you get the best quality for the lowest price. And the longevity benefit? A food that is in season and grown locally is usually harvested when it is ripe. A ripe vegetable has more vitamins, more antioxidants, and more flavor, so you do not need to eat as much to feel satisfied. You can go to your local farmer's market at the end of the day, and they will often give you a discount on the seasonal vegetables because they do not want to take them home. Learn what grows in your area each month, make a chart, and only buy what is on that chart. You will be shocked how much money you save. Number 6. This is about shopping habits. In Japanese culture, we have a concept called kakaku.com, but in real life, we have the nighttime discount. Supermarkets in Japan, and this works everywhere in the world, mark down fresh food in the evening. Around 7 or 8 p.m., the store wants to sell the bento boxes, the fresh fish, the meat that expires tomorrow. They put a 50% off sticker. 50%. That is a huge saving. But here is the Japanese trick. We do not go to the supermarket hungry at night. We go after dinner. If you go hungry, you will buy things you do not need. So eat your dinner at home, a small bowl of rice and miso soup, and then go to the supermarket. Look for the yellow stickers. Buy the fish that is half price and freeze it immediately. Buy the meat that is half price and cook it that night or freeze it. Buy the vegetables that are slightly wilted, because you know motai nai, you will put them in your nukadoko or make a soup. Another shopping habit is to buy from the reduced for quick sale section. In every supermarket, there is a little corner for damaged packages or close to expiry items. In Japan, we love this corner. A box of tofu that is slightly dented? It is fine inside. A bag of rice crackers with a small tear? Tape it. By doing your shopping at night and checking the discount corner first, you can easily save 40% on your grocery bill. And you are preventing food waste, which is good for the planet. So change your schedule. Do your big shopping trip 1 hour before the supermarket closes. Number 7. Make your own staples. In the West, people buy pre-made salad dressing, pre-made broth, pre-made pickles, pre-made sauces. Each of those bottles costs $5 or $6. In a Japanese kitchen, we make almost everything from scratch, but in a very simple way. For example, salad dressing in Japan is often just a mix of soy sauce, rice vinegar, and a little sesame oil. That takes 10 seconds to whisk. The cost? Pennies. Compare that to a bottle of expensive organic dressing. Another staple is dashi, the Japanese soup stock. You can buy instant dashi powder, which is fine and cheap, but the traditional way is even cheaper. You buy a piece of kombu seaweed and a bag of katsuobushi, which is dried bonito flakes. You put the kombu in water, heat it to almost boiling, remove the kombu, add the bonito flakes, turn off the heat, and strain. That gives you a liter of the most delicious, umami-rich, mineral-packed broth. The kombu and bonito can be used 2 or even 3 times. The second brew is weaker, but still perfect for simmering vegetables. So one purchase of kombu and bonito, which costs maybe $8 total, gives you over 20 liters of broth. That is 40 cents per liter. Compare that to buying boxed broth for $3 per liter. You save a fortune. And the longevity benefit? Dashi is rich in glutamates, which create umami. Umami is the 5th taste, and it signals to your brain that food is satisfying. When food is satisfying, you eat less and you feel happier. So make your own dashi. It is meditative, it is cheap, and it is the secret heart of Japanese cooking. Number 8. Use root vegetables and cabbage. These are the cheapest vegetables in any grocery store. In Japan, during the winter, our diet becomes very heavy in daikon radish, carrots, gobo, burdock root, sweet potato, and cabbage. These vegetables cost almost nothing. A huge daikon radish costs about $1 and can feed a family for 3 days. Cabbage is the same. A whole cabbage is often $2. But here is the longevity secret. Root vegetables and cabbage are incredibly high in fiber and resistant starch. Fiber feeds your gut bacteria. Resistant starch lowers your blood sugar and keeps you full for hours. So you can eat a large volume of these vegetables for very few calories and very little money. My favorite cheap longevity meal is nabe, which is Japanese hot pot. You take a pot of water, add a piece of kombu, boil it, then add sliced cabbage, sliced daikon, sliced carrots, some mushrooms if you can find cheap ones, and a block of tofu. That is it. You simmer it at the table. Everyone picks what they want with a dipping sauce of ponzu or soy sauce and citrus. That meal costs about $3 to feed 4 people. $3. And it is one of the healthiest meals on earth. It warms your body, it hydrates you, it gives you a huge variety of plant compounds, and it costs nothing. So stop buying expensive imported greens like kale or arugula. They are healthy, yes, but they are expensive. Buy cabbage, buy daikon, buy carrots. They are the unsung heroes of longevity. Number 9. Fermenting your own soy products. Soybeans are a miracle food. They are cheap, especially if you buy them dried. Dried soybeans cost about $1 per pound. From 1 pound of dried soybeans, you can make 3 blocks of tofu, or a huge batch of natto, or tempeh, or miso. Now, I know making your own tofu sounds difficult, but in Japan, many families used to do this. You soak the beans, blend them with water, boil the soy milk, and add a coagulant like nigari, which is magnesium chloride. Nigari is a byproduct of salt making, and it is very cheap. The process takes about an hour of active time, and you get fresh, creamy, incredible tofu that costs about 1/3 of the price of store-bought. But even easier is making natto. Natto is fermented soybeans. You boil the soybeans, add the natto starter culture, which you can buy online for a few dollars, and let it ferment for 24 hours in a warm place. Natto is a superfood. It contains nattokinase, an enzyme that breaks down blood clots and supports cardiovascular health. It is also incredibly cheap to make at home. A serving of homemade natto costs about 15 cents. Store-bought natto can be $1 or more. So if you eat natto every day for breakfast, which many Okinawan centenarians do, you save over $300 a year just on breakfast. And you are giving your heart the best possible support. So please, buy a bag of dried soybeans. They are non-perishable, they are cheap, and they are the most versatile longevity food on Earth. Finally, number 10. This is the most important one. It is not about a specific food or a technique. It is about a mindset. It is called shokuiku, which means food education. Shokuiku teaches us that eating is not just about filling your stomach or satisfying your taste buds. Eating is an act of gratitude and intentionality. When you practice shokuiku, you plan your meals. You do not go to the supermarket without a list. In Japan, wise housewives look at the weekly flyers. They see what is on sale. They build their entire week's menu around those sale items. Then they go to the store, buy only those things, and leave. No impulse buys, no fancy snacks, no sugary drinks. The biggest money leak in grocery shopping is not the healthy food. It is the processed snacks, the sodas, the cookies, the frozen pizzas. These things are expensive and they shorten your life. When you practice shokuiku, you learn to cook from scratch. You learn that a bag of rice, a bag of dried beans, a bag of flour, a bottle of soy sauce, a jar of miso, and a bottle of sesame oil can create hundreds of different meals. You learn that you do not need expensive superfoods like goji berries or matcha powder. You need simple, whole, local, seasonal ingredients. And you learn portion control. In Japan, we say hara hachibu, which means eat until you are 80% full. This is a caloric restriction method that is proven to extend lifespan in animals and humans. When you stop eating before you are full, you automatically spend less money because you are eating less food. And you give your digestive system a rest, which reduces inflammation and oxidative stress. So let me bring this all together for you. The 10 Japanese ways are these. 1. Mottainai. Use every part of the ingredient. 2. Ichiju sansai. Structure your meals around rice and soup. 3. Nukazuke. Ferment your vegetables in rice bran to preserve them. 4. Cheap proteins, tofu, eggs, small fish. 5. Seasonal eating, shun, buy only what is growing now. 6. Nighttime discount shopping and the damaged goods corner. 7. Make your own staples like dashi and dressing. 8. Embrace cheap roots and cabbage. 9. Ferment your own soybeans. And 10. Shokuiku, the mindset of planning, cooking from scratch, and eating with gratitude. Now I know this sounds like a lot of change, but please do not try to do all 10 at once. That is not the Japanese way. The Japanese way is chiri mo tsumoreba yama to naru, which means even dust when piled up becomes a mountain. Start with one thing. Tomorrow, when you cook a carrot, do not throw away the peel. Wash it, freeze it, and make broth at the end of the week. That is one small change. When you feel comfortable with that, add another. Maybe learn to make miso soup, then learn to make nukazuke. Slowly, you will build a kitchen that is frugal, joyful, and deeply healthy. And you will feel it. Your energy will change. Your digestion will change. Your bank account will change. You will no longer see cooking as a chore. You will see it as a meditation, as an act of self-respect, as a way to honor your ancestors and your future self. I am just a Japanese man avatar on a screen, but I speak to you from a tradition of hundreds of years of wisdom, a tradition where poverty did not mean suffering. It meant creativity, community, and respect for nature. You do not need to be rich to eat like a centenarian. You just need to think like a wise Japanese grandmother. So go to your kitchen now, look in your fridge. Is there a lonely vegetable in the corner? Rescue it. Make it into a pickle or a soup. That is your first step to longevity and wealth. Thank you for listening to me today. If you found value in this, please share it with someone who worries about their grocery budget. And remember, every small change is a mountain. I will see you in the next video. Until then, eat well, live long, and be kind to yourself. Sayonara.